Welcome to Biff's Mystery Theater. I have many tales to tell you. Ghost stories, murder stories, and tales that will make your bones chill. Join me, won't you? For Theater of the Mind, where you always have the best seat in the house. Now close your eyes and turn off the lights.
You're twice as sure with two great names, Frigidaire and General Motors. Frigidaire presents Herbert Marshall as the man called X. Wherever there is myth, intrigue, romance, and all the strange and dangerous places of the world, there you will find the man called X. Frigidaire. And now Frigidaire presents Herbert Marshall as Ken Thurston, the man called X.
I tell you, Ken, this thing has to be stopped. Thousands of lives are at stake, man.
Stop pounding the desk, Chief, and tell me about it. I just got in from Calcutta this morning, remember?
Oh, good Lord, Ken, of course. This thing has me so worked up, look here. Take a look at this wall map. You see this town in Arizona near the Mexican border?
Nogales, what about it?
Well, somewhere down there, a deadly plague is spreading, and it could run wild over the whole country. Smallpox.
Smallpox?
6 deaths down there in the past week and a half. Other cases being reported almost daily. Last year, it popped up in California. A few months ago, here in New York. Now it's down there near Nogales. It's anybody's guess where it'll hit next.
Any idea where the carriers are coming from?
4 of the 6 dead men down there appeared in the territory only a couple of weeks ago. They carried no American papers or identification.
And the Mexican border only a broad jump away.
Right. Somebody's smuggling aliens across the border, and they're smuggling in the smallpox.
So long, Chief. All right now, Dr. Clark, you were the physician who reported the last case here in Nogales, weren't you?
Yes, but I don't know anything more about the dead man than you do, Mr. Thurston. Neighbors called me in. He was delirious when I got there. When he did talk, it was Spanish. Nothing made him much sense. Just kept repeating over and over, El Castillo Blanco, El Castillo Blanco. Apparently, it holds no clue whatever as to the man's identity or origin. In other words...
Dr. Clark, I don't know what to do. The patient in the examination room, Well, listen to him.
All right, nurse, I'll be right in. This won't take long, Thurston.
I'll be here, Clark. El Castillo Blanco. I wonder.
Frank, darling. Oh, darling, I missed you so much. But you're not Dr. Clark.
No, but don't let that stop you.
Oh, my apologies. The sun was so bright outside, and it's so dark in here. For a moment, I was blinded. Please forgive me.
Well, that was almost the nicest introduction I've ever had. Why should I forgive you?
Thank you. May, I know the name of the man to whom I've almost introduced myself?
Ken Thurston. Dr. Clark is busy with the patient.
I'm Miss Estelle Carroll, Mr. Thurston. They're waiting for me outside.
Oh.
Would you be kind enough to deliver a message to Dr. Clark for me?
Anything like the one you almost delivered?
This time it's only an invitation, Mr. Thurston. I'm having some guests at my rancho for the weekend. I wanted him to come down.
Lucky man, I'll tell him.
Of course. Any friends of Dr. Clark's are more than welcome, too. Anyone in town could tell them the road to the White Castle, my hacienda. Hasta la vista, Ken Thurston.
Hasta la vista, Senorita Caro. Well.
Help! Police!
What the devil?
Try to hold his arm still, nurse.
I am, Doctor, but he won't. Who are you stopping me? You're cutting off my arm.
Just 1 second, and there. It's all over.
All over, eh? I have no arm left. I'll sue you for every cent I have.
Hagar.
Oh, hello, Mr. Thurston, and I'll take you to the Superior Court, to the Supreme Court, even to the Justice of the Peace. Oh, Mr. Thurston.
Relax, Pagan. It wasn't a major operation.
That just goes to show you how much you know about it. Do you know what these butchers were doing to me?
I could guess.
All right, go ahead. I was being vaccinated.
Well, what else are you doing in Nogales?
I'm down here on big business, Mr. Thurston.
Never mind. I'll hear about it later.
What's that?
You had a visitor, Dr. Clark.
Oh, who was it?
Miss Carroll.
Estelle, I'm sorry I missed her.
I can see why. She invited us down to her rancho for the weekend.
Oh? I didn't know you and Estelle were acquainted.
We'll add that to the list
What list?
of things you don't seem to know about her.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
What's the name of her hacienda, Clark?
Why, it's... Oh.
Yeah, the White Castle. In Spanish, El Castillo Blanco.
Some jalopsy, huh, Mr. X? Drives like an aeroplane.
No wonder. You haven't had more than one wheel on the road since we left Nogales. Why are you so set on driving out to Senorita Caro's?
Oh, strictly business. With a guest of hers.
And how much is your chauffeuring going to cost me?
Not 1 penny outside of gas and oil and normal depreciation on the car. Maybe a few incidences like that. Mr. X, what happened?
There's your answer, Pagan.
Oh, for a moment I thought somebody was shooting at us. Oh, somebody is.
Hit the gas. If we can make that next bend in the road. Ah, there goes the tire.
You know something, Mr. Thurston? We didn't make it. I don't get it. Why would anyone want to shoot up my pretty automobile?
Somebody didn't want us to get to the rancho. I'd still like to know where those shots came from.
You could hide an elephant in these mountains.
Wait a minute, Pagan.
Buenos dias, señores. You're in trouble?
Senor Virva, it's you.
Señor Zellschmidt. ¿Cómo está usted, señor?
Buena, Senor Virva. Very much buena. Mr. Thurston, meet my good friend, Senor Virva.
Glad to know you, Senor Verva.
It is my pleasure, señor. But what has happened to you, walking in this lonely country?
Car trouble. On our way to the White Castle Rancho.
Oh, and the rancho is still some miles away. But I am a guest there also. Why do you not wait in that shady arroyo while I ride for horses for you?
If you could add a well-chilled martini to that formula, Verva, it'd be perfect.
Bueno, I shall see that one is waiting for you upon your arrival at the hacienda. Patience, amigos. I will be back pronto.
You see, Mr. Thurston, it pays to know men like me. Influential friends all over the world.
I've met some of them.
Oh, that's right. But Senor Virva is different. A lovely fellow. He wouldn't hurt even a fly.
I figured that.
You did?
Yeah. He wasn't carrying that high-powered rifle just to hunt down flies.
Of the rancho, I think, is the most beautiful, Ken.
Do you, Estelle?
Yes, especially now at sunset. That's why I have that small cabin down there to come to when I wish quiet and solitude.
Too few places I got on the face of the earth today, aren't there, Estelle?
Yes, I know. But here, the snow-capped peaks above, the brilliant colors of the canyon below.
Like a sword wound, cut deep into the breast of the earth.
A wound dividing two nations. On this side is Arizona. On the other, Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
That canyon is called La Calle de las Perdidas, the Street of the Lost Ones. Many have tried to cross from one side to the other. But the rock walls are 1,000 feet straight up and down. Nobody's ever come out alive.
I can believe that.
And there's 2 white sandstone buttes on either side of the canyon, like 2 white castle towers.
That explains how your rancho got its name.
Oh, yes. Our nature's made this country strong, hard, ruthless. Ken!
Somebody's ideas about that cabin are different from yours. Come on.
All right, you dirty rat, talk.
No sabe, senor. No sabe, no.
No, sabe, you. What were you doing hanging around here? Come on, talk.
No, senor. No,
Maybe you can't talk English, pal. I'm not taking any
Who had
chances.
him? Let's have that gun.
What?
Let's have it.
Before you hurt somebody. Let go my arm before... Let go.
Sure, any minute now.
Okay.
Grab it, Estelle.
I have it, Ken.
Good. Okay, mister.
What was the big idea of that?
Fine enough, my question.
You're getting no answers from me.
I think we shall, Platt.
But, Okay, Miss Carroll. I saw that peon sneaking around up here, and I pumped some lead in the air to stop him. I cornered him outside the cabin when he wouldn't talk about what he was doing. I was going to scare him a little, that's all.
Yeah, you're pretty handy with guns, Pratt. Ever do any hunting? Stay between here and Nogales?
Sometimes.
Have any luck your last time out?
I spotted a couple of rattlesnakes, but I missed.
Not too bad.
Yeah. Maybe I'll have better luck next time.
Nice people you have around here. Who is this guy, Pratt?
He is what you might call a gang boss for Senor Virva. Handles the oil drilling operations.
Well, he was looking for more than oil here. Where is the peon? I'd like to have a talk to that man.
He ran away while you were fighting.
Do you know who he is?
Oh, no one. Just a man who helped store the beef for us.
Uh-huh. Oh, well, I'll talk to him in the morning.
No, Ken. I want you to leave this rancho tonight.
Oh, why?
It's too dangerous for you here. The shooting on the road, Platt, who's a killer. There's no telling what else may happen to you.
Would you like to guess why I'm so unpopular?
I don't have to guess, Ken. There are people everywhere, even down here, to whom the most dangerous man in the world is the man called X.
Mr. Thurston, I don't understand it. Ever since we got here, you've been avoiding me like the smallpox.
It's a habit I should have acquired earlier in life.
A fine attitude to take after all you've gone through for me.
Come on, we're going in here.
Huh? But that's the ice house where they keep their meat.
Yeah. There's a Mexican peon who works in here. I'm going to talk to him.
Mr. Thurston, why did you let the door slam shut? Now it's only cold here. It's pitch black.
Wait till I unlimber this flashlight. Wow.
Look at all those dead cows hanging here. I'll take that one, medium rare with French fried. Mr. Thurston, I gotta find the door. What happened to the door?
Easy, Pago.
But Mr. Thurston, the cow hanging there. That's no cow.
It's the Mexican peon. This time somebody didn't miss.
Now to return to Frigidaire's Man Called X, starring Herbert Marshall. Estelle Caro's guests are all assembled in the living room of her hacienda, and Dr. Clark is speaking.
I'm afraid there's no telling how long the man's been dead, Thurston. The cold in the ice house ruined any chance of determining the advance of rigor mortis.
No, that means no checkable alibis. And you can't tell a killer without his alibi.
Surely, Senor Thurston, you're not suggesting that one of us...
That's Your idea, Verba, not mine.
I don't like your attack, Thurston.
No man likes death, Dr. Clark. Whether it's from bullets or smallpox.
Smallpox. Frank, didn't you say you had something to tell Ken about that?
Yes, Estelle. Just before I left Nogales, Thurston, I learned that a smallpox epidemic has been raging in Masagua for the past 60 days.
Masagua?
Yes, it's a little Mexican town just across the border.
Uh-huh. My uncle Ahmed has a third cousin twice removed who lives there.
I might have known. Well, thanks for your hospitality, Estelle.
Thanks for Ken, you're not leaving.
That was your advice, remember? I'm taking it.
Well, I didn't think it was like you to quit in the middle of a game.
Well, sometimes it's smart to quit when you're winners. If you don't believe me, ask the peon. I don't want to cash in my chips with a bullet in my head. Yeah?
Hello, Nogales. Ready on your call to New York. Go ahead, please.
Hello, that's you, Ken?
Yeah, Chief. What have you got for me?
Everything I could get in the 24 hours you gave me.
Okay, shoot.
Well, first of all, this man Verba. He's a crook. Been selling fake Mexican oil stock for years. Made a lot of dough at it once, but right now he's pretty shaky financially.
Mexican headquarters in Masagua?
Well, how did you know?
Maybe I'm psychic. What about Platt?
Dishonorable discharge from the Coast Guard, nothing else. And Dr. Clark's record is absolutely clean.
Uh-huh.
As for Estelle Caro, she must be quite a woman.
You must be psychic, too.
Evelyn Horatio Alger, from chorus girl to property holder and ranch owner. Came up the hard way, but fast.
An old friend of Verba's?
Very old, and very good.
Hang on, Chief. Be right back. Well, Verba, come all the way to Nogales just to make a phone call?
Why not, Thurston?
Then why not use the telephone? It works better than ear against the wall of this booth. Or does it?
That depends upon what one wishes to hear.
Uh-huh. Well, have you heard enough?
I think so. At least I have heard enough to offer you some good advice.
That's the habit people are getting into. What's yours?
Simply this. In the event you're thinking of visiting Masagua, remember, there are other things on foreign soils that can be just as deadly as smallpox.
But how do you know I want to go to Mexico?
Well, that's better than going to jail for selling fake oil stock.
That's besides the point. Anyway, why do you want me to fly to Masagua with you?
So you can ask your Uncle Ahmed's third cousin twice removed if he can sneak you into the United States.
But why should I do that? I just came from there. Besides, they have smallpox in Masagua.
Yeah, that's why we're going there. To see that they keep it.
Seem lonesome. You would like company, no?
Yeah, only I didn't realize it until just now. Sit down, won't you?
Gracias. You are a stranger here in Masagua?
Temporarily, yes.
Oh? Then you do not intend to remain?
Not if I can help it. But maybe I'll have to. You know how it is sometimes.
I am not so certain that I do, senor. What? You are American, no?
Uh-huh.
Your country is not far away. And yet you remain here in Mexico, where you say you do not wish to be.
That makes sense to you?
Perhaps, senor. Perhaps not. But I enjoy stories. Tell me more.
Okay. I know one about a man who wanted to get back to the house where he was born.
Mm-hmm.
But for certain reasons, its doors were barred against him. And the walls were too high to climb.
See, senor? What is the end of the story?
Well, that's all I know. I never did hear the rest of it.
What a pity. For that story could have had a happy ending.
Oh?
Si, senor. For if that man had money, $1,500 American money, maybe he could have found people to remove those walls for him.
Maybe. But what if he didn't know where to find them?
Perhaps that could be arranged, senor. way, senor. Down this alleyway.
No spotlights on these transactions.
Senor?
Oh, it's American, for it's dark here.
Oh, see. But we have arrived. Coin, senor.
No lights here either. Now what?
Just this. So, you would not listen to me, Nogales, eh? Perhaps this will teach you I mean what I say, Mr. X.
Wake up, Mr. X. Please, wake up.
Yeah.
Don't stay subconscious. Wake up.
What's going, Pega?
Oh, glad to see me, Mr. Thurston.
For once, yes. Where are we?
In the old building where Senor Verva left you.
Verva, so he was the one.
Mm-hmm.
I knew darn well that girl was leading me into a trap, but I didn't expect it to close so soon. How'd you get here?
I saw you and the girl leave the tavern, so I followed. I thought maybe she might have a friend up for me.
Oh.
And when you went to the building, I waited, and Verva and the girl came out. I went in, and here you were.
Well, how'd you make off with Uncle Ahmed's kinfolk?
Oh, Mr. Thurston, they're the souls of the earth. For $2,000, I can get you sneaked into the United States.
Is the extra $500 your commission?
Huh?
When do I leave?
Well, one bunch left tonight, but too early. You missed it.
Oh, no, I didn't. Come along.
But, Mr. Thurston, you can't catch up with them now.
I'm not going to. I'm going to meet him at the other side. Hello, Estelle.
Oh, Ken, it's you.
Surprised?
That you've returned to my rancho? No. Only that you found me out here at my little cabin. How did you know?
Well, there was no one at the hacienda, and moonlit nights are made for quiet and solitude.
So you remembered. I knew you'd be back. But tell me, Ken, why?
Don't you know?
I should like to think it was because of me. Was it, Ken?
That's why I came back, Estelle.
That was a rifle shot.
Not from any ordinary rifle.
What do you mean?
The spotted plague's paying a return visit, Estelle, to the White Castle. Come on. Okay, now we can see all right from here.
But what is that? Ken, look.
Yeah,
There's something stretching all the way across the canyon. What is it?
that's a bridge. A bridge of rope and slats.
How is that possible?
The shot we heard was a lifeline being fired across the canyon. The kind they use in the Coast Guard. And there's the man who fired it. Pulling it back to this side with the bridge attached.
And those men on the other side are waiting to cross.
Without benefit of quota or medical examination. That's $1,500 ahead.
Ken, he's starting to fasten down the bridge now.
Yeah. Okay, Pat, it's quitting time.
What the? Thurston!
That's right, Pat. I see you're having company tonight. May I join the little party?
You just dealt yourself into a game you can't win, Thurston.
Better look around before you call, Pat. Up in the hills.
In the hills? What are you talking? Those lights. Moving down this way.
The Border Patrol.
Border Patrol?
I made arrangements in Nogales. Dr. Clark's leading them down to us. You all licked, Pat?
Oh, no. You haven't won yet, Thurston. That wireless gun is still the joker.
Ken!
Not tonight, Pat.
Ken! Oh, Ken, I was afraid he was going to kill you.
Were you? Or were you afraid he wasn't?
What are you saying?
You were the brains behind Platt. I suspected that ever since the ambush on the road.
No, Ken.
Only you and Clark knew I was going to your hacienda.
That it was Clark or Verva.
If Verva was a killer, I'd never have left Masagua alive. And you were the only one who knew I wanted to question the peon. You'd smuggled him across the border and couldn't risk that talk. So you killed him.
You have no proof of that.
When they try to pin a murder rap on Pratt, he'll talk.
Courage, Mr. Thurston. Hold on to everything. I'm coming to the rescue.
Anything to say, Estelle, before they get here?
You're a clever man, Ken. My congratulations. But you've forgotten one thing. The bridge.
Bridge?
To Mexico. To freedom. Adios, Ken.
Come back, will you? That bridge isn't fastened down yet.
Hasta la vista, Ken. Until we...
Good Lord.
Mr. X, the bridge, that girl, they're gone.
Yeah. Yes, la calle de las perdidas. The street of the lost ones. She was heading there all the time. Only she didn't know it. She worshipped the gods of power and ruthlessness. Traded her soul to them. That's why she ended down there. For all those who put gold above human rights and welfare. All of them are lost ones.
Now, Frigidaire star Herbert Marshall.
Thanks for being with us. Next week, a story called The Least of These. I read it. It's pretty exciting. I think you'll like it. Of course, Leon Belasco will be on hand as Pagon Zellschmidt. So join us, won't you, when next I return as the man called X. Good night.
Frigidaire's Man Called X is directed by Jack Johnstone, with music composed and conducted by Johnny Green. Tonight's story was written by Sidney Marshall. And so until next week, same time, same station, this is Wendell Niles speaking for Frigidaire, made only by General Motors. All characters and incidents used are fictitious. Any resemblance to actual persons or incidents is purely coincidental. Remember, every Thursday, for the best in entertainment, tune in and stay tuned in to CBS, the biggest show in town. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System. Your price is sure with two great names, Frigidaire and General Motors. Frigidaire presents Herbert Marshall as the Man Called X. Wherever there is mystery, intrigue, romance, in all the strange and dangerous places of the world, there you will find the Man Called X. And now Frigidaire presents Herbert Marshall as Ken Thurston, the Man Called X.
I'm very sorry to keep you waiting, Mr. Thurston. Would you care to give me your order now?
Oh, later. Right now, you can bring me a dry martini with an onion.
Very good, Mr. Thurston. I shall be right... Oh, I beg your pardon.
Think nothing of it, my good woman?
Pagon, no.
Oh, hello, Mr. Thurston. I thought you were in South Africa.
I was. I just got back. Well, you must have dug up a new tailor.
The suit? Oh, well, it's really filled the material.
How'd you do it? Bank robbery?
Mr. X, I'm going to become a millionaire.
Congratulations. How?
Very simple. Roulette.
Huh?
Sure, a friend of mine from Europe. He says that all you have to do is to... Mr. X, that man coming over here.
What about him?
He's after me.
Didn't you pay for the suit?
But this is no time for jokes. You gotta do something.
Well, he looks pretty mad. All right, Pagon, grab yourself a taxi out there. I'll slow him down.
Mr. Thurston, if I get out of this, I swear by the father of my father...
Just a minute there.
Babble me, please. I'm in a hurry.
Evidently. Since you didn't take the time to pay your check...
I intend to pay it when I come back. Now, if you don't mind.
Maybe we'd better call the manager. I think he'll be interested in your intentions.
I do not wish to... too late. He's driving away.
You trying to catch somebody?
Unquestionably, your interference was intentional. I saw Zellschmidt talking with you a moment ago.
So?
Fortunately, I think I know where he can be found.
Good.
But you, monsieur, you may discover that you have made a very bad enemy. Very bad indeed. Good day.
Several years back when he showed up in Washington. I don't know whether you remember him or not, Ken.
Dr. Wagner, sure, Chief, the French scientist.
That's right. Specialist in nuclear physics. He'd got out of France just one jump ahead of the Nazis.
Claimed he'd solved the nuclear reaction of hydrogen and helium, unlimited power without the need for uranium. Yeah, I remember him. That was early in 41, when John Public thought nuclear energy was scientific fiction. What happened to him?
Why, he died, Ken.
Oh?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago in French Guiana. A newspaper clipping came in yesterday.
What about his process? Did he leave any papers or notes?
According to this item, they were holding the stuff pending a claim by next of kin.
That's a pretty important secret to be kicking around for just anybody to get hold of.
Well, that's how it looked to me, Ken, so I cabled the authorities in French Guiana yesterday. Got an answer this morning. Said Dr. Wagner's papers had already been picked up, and by an operator from this bureau.
What?
Yes, Ken, and hang on to your hat. According to the cablegram, the name of the operator was Zellschmidt.
Hagar. Good Lord.
Yes, he's in plenty deep this time.
All right, Chief. I'm on my way. I'll be in touch with you.
Well, better phone me as soon as you get to French Guiana.
French Guiana? Chief, I'm going to Monte Carlo.
Ken, what in Sam Hill are you talking about?
So long, Chief.
The betting is closed. Sorry, monsieur. No more bets. Perhaps the next time. And the winning number is 23, red and dot. Unfortunately, not the cover. That was you, madame and monsieur.
You don't seem to be interested in roulette, monsieur.
Huh? Oh, I'm just a kibitz on that myself.
I probably shouldn't start a conversation with a complete stranger, but well, here in Monte Carlo, we tend to become very informal.
A good system. I like it. You don't live here?
Oh, no, not here. Down the coast of Nice.
Oh.
My name is Jeanette Quilly, monsieur.
My name is Ken Thurston. How are you, Miss Quinn?
Place your bet, ladies and gentlemen. Quickly, please. That was you.
I've noticed you watching the little man with the beard at the next table.
Oh?
Is he a friend of yours by any chance?
No. Strange-looking fellow. You don't happen to know him?
No, Monsieur Thurston. Oh, pardon me, ma'am. On number 13, croupier.
Oui, mademoiselle.
Your lucky number, Miss Quayle?
Why not? What might be unlucky for one could easily be very fortunate for another. It's a hunch.
The betting is closed. No more bets, please.
Yeah, I had a hunch myself a little while ago.
Oh? Did you play it?
Oh, no, not that kind. I had a hunch you were going to speak to me.
But why?
Well, I noticed you yesterday, sitting 3 tables away in a New York restaurant.
And the winning number is 7. Red and dot, not covered.
Too bad, Miss Quayle.
Oh, well, you can't win all the time. You're a very observant man, Monsieur Thurston. Perhaps we should have a long talk sometime. Au revoir.
Yeah. Au revoir, Jeanette. Well, now's as good a time as any for a showdown. I beg your pardon.
Huh? I don't know you, monsieur.
It's that beard of yours. I've been wanting to pull on it for the last 20 minutes.
I don't understand, monsieur.
You crooked, double-crossing little rat.
Huh?
All right, Pico, now come on out of that brush.
Listen, Mr. Thurston, you gotta save me.
Save you? I'm going to make sure you get 90 years. What did you do with those papers you stole?
I'm very glad you asked that, Mr. X. I think...
Risking the peace of the whole world. Impersonating a bureau operator.
But who else would I know how to talk like?
Pagon, you pulled some shady deals, but this is the worst one yet. Now you're in trouble.
But it was only a bet.
A bet?
Sure, this Baron Rutten bet me $5,000 I couldn't fool those people in French Guiana. What sucker. It was a cinch.
Yeah, it'll be a cinch for the state's attorney. The jury won't be out 5 minutes.
If you don't help me, I won't even live so long. They're gonna bump me off.
Good.
Maybe even worse.
Better yet.
Mr. X, how can you
Pagon, where are those papers of Dr. Wagner's?
That's the whole trouble. I haven't got them.
What?
I held them out on Baron Rutten. Just trying to make an honest dollar, you understand?
Honest dollar.
Is there any other car?
Never mind that. Where are they now?
I airmailed them to myself here in care of general delivery. They should come in the morning.
Well, For once, that simple bird brain of yours made some accidental sense.
Thank you, Mr.
Oh, shut up.
If you will pardon, Monsieur Thurston,
Huh?
I have a message for you.
Yeah?
You're invited to join the Countess Corinne at her table across on the mezzanine.
Oh? Who's the Countess Corinne?
Monsieur, everyone knows the Countess.
That's so. All right. Tell the Countess I'll be over in a few minutes.
Oui, monsieur, merci.
Pagan, you probably heard of being boiled in oil.
Well, yes, but I don't...
Now, you go to your hotel room and wait for me. And if you step outside once, I'll show you at least 5 tricks that are a whole lot worse than boiling in oil.
One moment, monsieur. Your name is Thurston.
That's right.
Inspector Malmquist, Monaco Department of Police. I'd like to see your identification, please.
What for? The customs boys took care of all that.
As a matter of routine, yes, this is special. There has been a complaint.
Oh, by whom?
The complaint was made by me, Monsieur Thurston.
Oh, yeah. I think you're the Baron Rutan.
That is correct. And a man who can be a very bad enemy.
Yeah, you told me that in New York. Well, what's the complaint, Inspector?
Your passport first, please. Thank you. Baron Rutan believes you to be a jewel thief who was wanted by the Paris police a few years ago.
Well, ordinarily I'd be willing to accept the Baron as an underworld authority, but right now I've got a date upstairs with the Countess Corinne.
Countess Corinne? You are a friend of hers?
I'm joining her at her invitation.
These papers seem to be quite in order. I'm afraid you made a mistake, Baron Rutan.
Well, I did not realize...
My apologies, Mr. Thurston. If my department can be of service at any time, you have only to call on me.
Thanks, Inspector. I'll remember that. I may want to make a complaint myself sometime. Never know.
Oh, it's really no mystery at all, Monsieur Thurston. Jeanette is a guest at my villa down at Nice. She told me she'd met you, and I invited you to join me up here. Quite simple.
I see. Well, I'd have been here a little sooner if I hadn't been stopped at the bottom of the stairs by a gentleman named Malmquist.
Malmquist? Oh, yes, the police inspector. Something is wrong?
Oh, no, just a case of mistaken identity. Countess, do you happen to know Baron Rutan?
Rutan? No, I've never heard of him.
I was told you knew everybody in Monte Carlo.
Oh, hardly, Monsieur Thurston. People come and go in Monaco. They make a fortune or lose one. And either way, you never see them again.
Well, the world is pretty much the same way. On a bigger scale.
I suppose so. When you think about it, life itself is a kind of tremendous roulette wheel. People bouncing around the rim and not having a great deal to say about the matter.
That's quite an idea. And it doesn't offer much incentive for living, does it?
Why not? Everyone has the same chance.
Well, maybe, except once in a while, somebody discovers a new way to fix the wheel, so nobody has a chance.
Fix the wheel?
Countess Corinne, one sure method to make zero come up on the next spin would be a new kind of nuclear weapon. Pagan, open up. Pagan! Well.
Won't you come in, Monsieur Thurston?
Thanks, Jeanette. Of course, I could have the wrong room. You don't look much like Pagan Zellschmidt.
Well, I hope not. Then you did know the little man with the beard.
Bound to be busted. Oh, looks like you've been pretty busy.
Bad guessing. The room was torn up this way when I got here.
Oh? Where's Pagan? Under the bed?
No, I already looked. He seems to have stepped out, Ken. I suppose you're here after the same thing I am.
It's a little hard to say. Well, what are you after?
Oh, all right. Be difficult. Anyway, someone has already beaten us to it.
Could be. At least Pagan didn't walk out of here by choice, so where do we go from here?
Oh, maybe a lot of places if I knew you better. But I don't yet, so...
Not leaving already?
I thought I might. You wouldn't detain a lady, Ken.
It depends. I'd detain anybody to stop the Wagner formula from being turned loose on the world.
I think you would. Well, I don't have it. You can take my word for that. Unless, of course, you'd care to search me. No. You're really quite trusting. Very likely we'll see each other again. So I hope you won't mind if I say good night now, Mr. X.
And now to continue with Frigidaire's Man Called X, starring Herbert Marshall.
I must still regard this as highly irregular, Mr. Thurston, even though the postmaster did authorize it.
Relax, there's nothing to worry about. Here, hand me that jar of paste.
I must say that in 20 years' service with this post office, I have never done anything so unorthodox before.
Then it's about time. You ought to get out of your rut once in a while. Now we'll seal it up again. So. And it looks as good as it ever did. There you are.
Tampering with the Monaco mail. A very serious thing. Very serious.
Wait a minute. Here he comes now. I'll stand here by the door out of sight. You're on your own.
Good morning. You don't have to have some mail for Mr. Pagan Zellschmidt, do you? That's me, you understand?
Well, of course, we don't ordinarily open for another 5 minutes yet, but... Oh, yes. Here's the letter. Z.E. Zellschmidt. It's airmail from New York.
That's it. I mean, that's me. You couldn't just keep it a couple of days, could you?
Oh, good heavens, no. Be very irregular. Here you are.
Do you think maybe there is a policeman around here somewhere?
Oh, my, no. I haven't seen a gendarme all morning.
Oh. Well, goodbye, old friend.
Goodbye, Mr. Zellschmidt. Old friend?
Hello, Pagan.
Mr. Thurston.
Wait, look out!
Down, Pagan.
Oh! It's Baron Rutten. He's the one who brought me here.
Yes. Yes, it was Baron Rutten.
Mr. Thurston, I swear by the father of my father...
So help me, Pagan, if you don't tell the truth. All of it. I'll mop up this hotel room with you.
Even after I saved your life?
You saved nothing. I knew you'd never walk into that post office alone. Where were you all night, anyway?
Lying unconscious in some filthy dungeon where that Baron Rutten put me after he dragged me out of this hotel.
See anybody besides Rutten?
Only some rats. They chewed on my beard.
Pagan, how's Jeanette figure in this?
I don't know. I met her on a plane from New York. She was so charming.
And you were so talkative. So that's how she found out about me.
Mr. X, I swear I didn't...
All right, Pagan. Let's get this straight. Rutten looked you up in New York and made you a $5,000 bet. You went to French Guiana, picked up Wagner's papers, came back to New York, and gave them to Rutten. But you held out one envelope marked secret.
I only wanted to do my duty, Mr.
Yeah, you only wanted to soak in for more money later. Okay. So Rutten found out what you'd done and turned on the heat. You mailed the envelope here to Monaco and grabbed a plane over. How did Rutten know you'd come here?
I guess because he was the one who told me about the roulette system.
What was this system, anyway?
Oh, it's very simple, Mr. Thurston. You go to table number 7 in the casino and wait until 23 comes up on the wheel. Then you play 13 3 times and 0 once.
Hello?
Oh, sure. Baron Rutten said I could make $1 million, maybe $2 million. Why don't we go down and try it, Mr. X?
That's exactly what I'm going to do.
Good, I'll get my coat.
What for? You're not going anywhere.
But...
Don't leave the room, Pagan. See you later.
Oh.
Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. Bets bonjour.
100 francs on number 13 again, croupier.
Monsieur has a fondness for number 13.
Well, I'll call it a hunch. Not a very lucky one so far.
One never knows, monsieur. This time, perhaps. And the winning number is 26, red even. Too bad, monsieur.
Oh, well, that's the way with hunches.
Perhaps monsieur would like to try number 13 again?
No, this time I think I'll play 0.
Monsieur intends to play 0?
That's right.
But, monsieur, no one wins on 0. Very well, monsieur. Ladies and gentlemen, this wheel is temporarily closed. Your bets will be taken by any of the other tables. And now, monsieur, you will come with me, please?
Why not? This is one hunch that looks as though it may have a payoff.
So here I was sitting completely rejected, all alone in this dirty little hotel room, and then you come in. Jeanette.
Please, Mr. Zellschmidt.
Why don't you call me Pagan, or better yet, Ducky?
Ducky?
Well, why not? There's nobody here but just us, baby.
Mm-hmm. You're so right, Ducky.
Why don't we sit over here,
Well, if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
Only wait till I get my purse.
Purse? What for?
I want to show you something in it. Oh. What's here on the dresser?
Huh? Oh, it's nothing, just a letter I got at the post office this morning. What are you going to show me?
I'm afraid you'll laugh at me. It's so silly. See?
A billiard ball. But what's it for?
Well, you see, it's rather heavy. So it sags in the bottom of the purse.
Uh-huh.
Then, when I take hold of the top, like this, and swing it... You see how simple it is. Thanks a lot for the letter, Ducky.
We have arrived, monsieur.
About time. We've been walking through half the town.
One moment, please.
Oh, hello, Pierre. Mr. Thurston.
Inspector Malmquist.
Monsieur played the correct list of numbers.
Correctly. I don't know what you're talking about.
I think I do. That'll be all, Pierre. Good night.
But, monsieur,
Why don't we sit down, Inspector?
There's, evidently some mistake here.
I don't think so. It's an old trick among espionage agents. Getting in touch with one another by playing a certain sequence of numbers at some designated roulette wheel.
Now, look here.
This one happened to be rigged up for Pagan Zellschmidt. The idea being to eliminate him after he'd done that job in French Guiana. And you'd forgotten to let Pierre know the deal was off.
Are you implying that a man in my position...
Just what is your position, Inspector? I checked with the Monaco police today. They've never heard of you.
You have Dr. Wagoner's papers.
That's right. All I need now is the brain behind this thing. Somehow I don't think that you or Baron Rutten fits the bill. Well, any answer there?
You drive so fast. Such a rough road. I don't see why you can't drive slow, Mr. Thurston.
Pagan, we may be too late now.
Nobody's going to steal that villa down in Nice. And besides, every time we hit a bump, my stomach flies up and bruises my brain.
May knock some sense into it.
Unkindness. I never get any sympathy.
You don't have any coming after what you pulled off.
But, Mr. X, I didn't give her the letter. She took it away from me with brute force and a billiard ball.
I'm talking about you stealing Wagner's papers.
I didn't know what I was doing. I was strictly non-compos corpus.
Tell the judge that.
Oh, and besides, I thought it was only a bet. I didn't know what it was all about.
No, I don't think you did. And that's the only thing that may save you.
I knew you would fix it, won't you, Mr. Thurston? My very dear friend.
I don't know, Pagan. That depends on the way things turn out. When we get to Nice.
Mr. X, can't this car go any faster?
Would you like some more coffee, Monsieur Thurston? Another sandwich, perhaps?
No, thanks, Countess.
Monsieur Zellschmidt?
I don't mind if I do. They're very small. Thank you.
This visit is really a most unexpected pleasure, Monsieur Thurston. But I feel somehow that you have something to discuss which you have not mentioned.
As a matter of fact, I have, Countess Corinne. I thought we might talk about the Wagner formula for nuclear reaction. Or haven't you had time to open the letter yet?
What letter do you mean?
The one you took away from Jeanette when she came back here about an hour ago.
You are very clever, monsieur. How did you find out about me?
You might say Inspector Malmquist gave you away.
He would not dare talk.
Oh, no, he didn't. But when I mentioned his name to you in the casino last night, you verified that phony title of Inspector. Remember? I hope you haven't made the mistake of killing Jeanette.
I had not yet decided what to do with her. She's locked in the third room down the hall.
Go get her, Pagan.
Whatever you say, Mr. Thurston, but if you hear a noise like a billiard ball, you better come up and pick me up.
Baron Rutan, Inspector Malmkist, and the Countess Corinne. You're quite a trio.
I should not have worked with such stupid assistants. That was my mistake. We could do much better, Ken.
Oh, sure, yes, we make a great team.
You don't seem to understand. The person who controls the Wagner formula controls the world. Don't you realize what that means?
I realize exactly what it means. That's why I'm here.
I see. Well, I suppose I may as well accept the fact that you won't change your mind.
And of course you're planning to break through that door.
From where you are sitting, you can't stop me without shooting. And I don't think you will.
Mr. X, you're going to let her get away.
Stop her, Ken. She's got the formula.
You're both wrong.
But she keeps a plane out there. She knows how to fly it.
She'll need to know more than that with a half-dozen men of the French Sûreté sitting out there waiting for her.
But...
And as for the papers, one man's already died for. I have them here.
You took them away from her.
Pagan, I took them away from you.
Huh?
I've had that sealed envelope since this morning in the post office. There was nothing in the letter you picked up but a folded newspaper.
Well, it was a very dirty trick to let me get... Wait a minute. Jeanette, she's another one, Mr. X. Grab her.
Nice idea, Pagan, only it's pretty rough treatment for the daughter of a prominent French scientist.
You? Dr. Wagner?
How did you find out, Ken?
I didn't. I was guessing. But there's a strong family resemblance, and I couldn't see how you figured in this any other way.
Well, I've been a guest of the Countess for several months. That's how she found out about my father's formula.
Jeanette, you knew who I was. Why'd you keep on fighting me? You had a legal claim to the papers?
Yes, but I didn't know whether you'd want to do the same thing with them that I do.
Oh, what's that?
Destroy them. I know how my father felt during the last months of his life. I had letters from him. Ken, burn that envelope, please. Don't even open it.
I'm afraid that's impossible, Jeanette. I've already opened it.
Oh, no.
Mr. Thurston, that was dishonest.
Pagan, don't tempt me.
Too late. Oh, it's horrible.
That depends. Inside of this envelope is something that's already caused the death of one man. And will only send 2 others to prison. Like to have a look at it? Ken?
Mr. X.
There's nothing but ashes.
That's right. I think Dr. Wagner knew he'd understand what he was doing.
Then he destroyed it himself.
You have plenty of reason to be proud of your father, Jeanette. He was a great man. With death staring him in the face, he deliberately wiped his name off the list of the world's immortals because he felt it was best for his fellow human beings. No small man could do that. The secret will be found again someday by somebody else. But before that happens, oh, if only we'll have the sense to grow up. Stop gambling the future of the whole human race on a wheel where every number is 0.
Now, Frigidaire star Herbert Marshall.
Thanks for being with us. Next week, our story is called All That Glitters. And I think you'll enjoy it because it's packed full of excitement and mystery. As usual, Leon Velasco will be along as Pagan Zellschmidt. So join us, won't you, when next I return as the man called X. Good night.
Frigidaire's Man Called X is directed by Jack Johnstone, with music composed and conducted by Johnny Green. Tonight's story was written by Les Crutchfield. And so until next week, same time, same station, this is Wendell Niles speaking for Frigidaire, made only by General Motors. All characters and incidents used are fictitious. Any resemblance to actual persons or incidents is purely coincidental. Remember, every Thursday, for the best in entertainment, tune in and stay tuned in to CBS, the biggest show in town. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System. Life is sure with 2 great names. Frigidaire and General Motors. Frigidaire presents Herbert Marshall as the man called X. Wherever there is mystery, intrigue, romance, and all the strange and dangerous places of the world, there you will find the man called X. And now Frigidaire presents Herbert Marshall as Ken Thurston, the man called X. An early morning mist shrouds Lingayen Gulf in the Philippines as two men load a heavy chest into a ship's dory, drawn up onto the shore. Suddenly, from the nearby jungle, a voice hails them.
You! At that boat! What are you doing there?
I say, you hear?
See?
In the name of the Philippine Republic, I demand you identify yourselves!
See, amigo, we will identify ourselves like this.
You fool. You've killed a government agent.
What else could I do?
Anything but that. You've forgotten who arrived in Manila last night?
But there can be no connection between him and this.
Anything is possible, you idiot. With a man called X.
Believe me, Senor Thurston, the Philippine Ministry of Finance shall do everything possible to help you.
Thanks, Senor Leone. That's liable to be a pretty big order.
I know. The territory of Macau is Portuguese. 500 miles across the South China Sea near Hong Kong. We have no jurisdiction over it.
Nor has the United States, but something's got to be done to stop the international black market in gold that's operating there.
Si, senor. It is a constant threat to the efforts of your country to maintain worldwide economic stability.
What's more important, it means starvation for a lot of the people in this world. Now, the Bureau believes that the bulk of that black market is being supplied by Philippine gold. Gold that normally would be earmarked for the United States.
Senor Thurston, we have reached the same conclusion. And something occurred this morning which may have a bearing on it.
What was that?
One of my men was killed at Lingayen Gulf. There were signs that a small boat had landed nearby. And we found this upon the sand.
Leone, that looks like a Chinese gambling ship.
It is, senor. It is a marker that came from the Lotus Blossom, a notorious gambling hall in Macau.
Uh-huh.
Our agents tell us that the Lotus Blossom is operated by a woman known as Madame Hung Shang, who has an interest in every underworld activity in Macau.
Including black markets, in gold.
What would your guess be, Senor Thurston?
I'll let you know, Leone. When does the next plane leave for Hong Kong?
This is a pleasant trip to make by air. You will be in Hong Kong for some time, Senor Thurston?
I'll have to let my business aside that, Dr. D'Amico.
Are you Americano businessman? Always with a nose to the grindstone. As a physician, I prescribe relaxation. The kind one can find in Macau.
Oh?
See, I have a private sanatorium there in the northern hills. Secluded, quiet, overlooking the Camoan Garden.
That sounds restful.
And healthy. But then Macau has the healthiest climate in all Asia. You would be doing me a favor, senor, if you would visit me there. The daily steamer runs from Hong Kong.
Up to your old tricks again, Doctor?
Oh, Senorita Burton, I did not see you on the plane.
Don't let your surprise make you forget your manners, Doctor.
1,000 pardons. May I present Mr. Thurston? Mr. Thurston, the famous Senorita Frances Burton.
How do you do? Well, you were right, Doctor. This is a pleasant trip.
Thank you, Mr. Thurston. And now, Dr. D'Amico, this time your patient is going to write the prescription. It calls for you to take my seat in the rear of the plane while I talk to Mr. Thurston.
Senorita Burton.
Doctor's orders, Doctor.
Then what can I do but obey? Until we meet again, Senor Thurston. And please remember that invitation is always yours.
Thanks, Dr. D'Amico.
Adios.
All right, Miss Burton. Why?
Perhaps it's because you're the only presentable American on board.
Oh, the famous authors can write better lines than that.
Oh? You've read my books?
A couple of them. Underworld Europe, Underworld Africa. They're good. Accurate, factual.
Thanks. I tried to make them that way. That's why I'm going to Macau.
An underworld Asia coming out?
Yes. And the reason I picked Macau for research is the same reason I wish to speak with you.
Oh?
Dr. D'Amico was not entirely correct. Macau can be the unhealthiest place in Asia, particularly for anyone who interferes with Madame Hung Shang's activities. Whether gambling, fishing, opium, or gold.
Why tell me this?
It's very simple, Mr. Thurston. Everything I've said about the danger of interfering with her goes double. If the man involved is the man called X.
I'm very sorry, sir. The steamer to Macau is already overcrowded. There are no cabin accommodations left.
Then,
I'm very sorry, sir. Not even that will help you get a cabin.
What a dope. Turning down good American dollars like that.
Pagan.
Hello, Mr. Thurston.
Pagan, what in the world ever brought you to Hong Kong?
My Uncle Ahmed. He told me about this black market in gold in Macau. So when I tried to figure where you'd be, where else?
You mean where there's gold, there's Zellschmidt.
And pretty lucky for you. Where else could you get a ticket for a cabin on that steamer? And practically for nothing.
How much, Pagan?
Believe me, it's a bargain, Mr. Thurston. Only $75,000. Chinese dollars. Oh, only $50 American money. Is it a deal?
I'll give you $10 cash.
You know something, Mr. Thurston? It's a deal. Here's the cabin, Mr. Thurston.
Good. Let's see if it's... Well...
Mm-hmm. Has there not been some mistake, gentlemen? Or is it your custom to enter other people's cabins without knocking?
Well, if it's a mistake, it's the luckiest one I've made in years.
This is the cabin. Look, it's on the ticket, number 18.
Number 18. Are you sure?
Yep. And that's what it says on the door.
Then I must beg your pardon. It is I who have entered the wrong cabin. Please forgive me. I will leave at once.
Forgetting something, aren't you?
Forgetting?
Yeah. The man with his hand sticking out of those drapes over the bunk.
Hello. Goodbye, Mr. Thurston. I just remembered...
Relax, Pagan. He can't hurt you now.
Not doing me any good. Lying there, that sticker in his throat.
It's a surgeon's scalpel. Well, miss?
All right. I will tell you the truth. My name is Maurice. I am traveling to Macau for a group of wealthy Chinese investors. Frankly, it is to purchase gold for Madame Hong Shang of the Lotus Blossom.
Up to now, that makes sense. Go on.
An appointment was made for me to meet her representative in this cabin. When I entered, he was lying there, just like that. I was about to leave and you walked in. That is all I know. Well?
Setting me won't do you any good. You'll have to convince the captain of this ship.
I do not think I care to do that at the moment, Mr. Thurston. Have you any objection?
She's got a gun.
Yeah.
I believe my point is clear. I have no wish to inform the captain of this affair.
Too bad. You ought to go late. Come in, Miss Burton, and bring the captain with you.
Thanks for the invitation. Looks like a cozy party. Come on, Captain. You know, I reserved this cabin for the trip, and I just as soon not share it with a corpse. Can you do something about that?
Indeed I can. Senorita, you are pleased to hand over that gun at once and consider yourself under arrest.
Very well, Captain. Here it is.
That's being sensible, Maurice.
Unfortunately, you have not been the same, Mr. Thurston.
Oh?
There are 2 flowers, both with white blossoms that bloom in the wild places of the world. A sensible man would have chosen the sweetness of the lotus blossom rather than the poison of the deadly nightshade.
This is the Playa Grande, Ken, Macau's main promenade. Your hotel, the Ascension, is at the end of it.
You seem to know this town. Been here before?
No, but I have friends who told me about it.
The same friends who told you about the man called X?
Ken, I met some strange people while writing my book about Europe's underworld. A few of them had information about things like that, for a price.
One of Pagon's relatives, no doubt. Or was it someone like Madame Hong Shang?
You draw a blank there, Ken. I've never met anyone who's even seen her. Dr. D'Amico has made arrangements for us to meet. That's why her cabin was reserved for me on the steamer.
D'Amico gets around, doesn't he?
What do you mean?
Wasn't his medical bag with your luggage in the cabin?
That's right. He had no cabin and thought it would be safer in mine. What's wrong with that?
Nothing. Unless a scalpel belonging in that bag has been misplaced in somebody's throat.
Hello, Mr. Thurston. Back to the hotel so soon?
All right, Pagon. Stop trying to steam open that radiogram and give it to me.
Mr. Thurston, I was just making some tea and sort of fanning the steam away. Could I help it if it loosened the envelope? Bad news, Mr. Thurston?
That depends on how you look at it. Miss Monsignor Leone, his answer to the one I sent from the steamer giving a description of the dead man.
That was silly. Why should Signor Leone know anything about him?
I don't know. Except that the message says, description that of Joseph Natalia, Philippine Treasury agent.
Dead man, Filipino agent. Mr. Thurston, what's this all about, anyway? What are you doing here?
That's top secret, Pagan.
Oh?
Some people would pay a small fortune to find that out.
They would?
Sure. Especially Madame Hung Shang, or even Dr. D'Amico.
Mr. Thurston, now that I'm working for you again, don't you think I should know all about this?
I don't know. There's no telling what some people might do if they found out I was here about the sale of gold.
Gold?
Yeah. Philippine gold. To be offered to the black market.
Don't you worry, Mr. Thurston. I'll keep clammed up like an oyster. Well, I better be leaving. See you later, Mr. Thurston.
Okay, Pagan. Okay.
Oh, what's the difference, Chief? No, sir, Ken, it's your own darn fault. As long as you keep him in pocket money, Pagan will continue to hound you. You know I don't trust him. Why, for a few bucks, he'd double-cross his own grandmother. To say nothing of you.
Chief, that's just what I'm hoping for, right now.
Okay, I give up. Now, is there anything else I can do for you?
No, just check the files in that list of people. D'Amico, Maurice, Francis Burton, and Madame Hung Shang.
Got it.
Particularly the Madame. Nobody seems to know who she is. And... Wait a minute, Chief. Something wrong here. Someone just...
Ken! Hey, what's going on there? What's happened? Can you hear me, Ken? Ken?
Hello?
Huh?
You are a colleague of Mr. Thurston?
Yes. What's happened there? Who are you?
My name is Maurice.
Maurice?
Yes. I just wish to tell you that you do not have to bother checking up on me.
What?
I can give you the information in one sentence.
Never mind that. What's happened to Ken Thurston?
That is the sentence. At the moment, he is very well taken care of by Madame Hung Shang.
Now to continue with Frigidaire's Man Called X, starring Herbert Marshall. Ken Thurston is in Macau, attempting to halt the illegal flow of Philippine gold into the black market. Gold originally earmarked for the United States. While reporting to the chief, his phone conversation is interrupted by gunshots, and the beautiful Maurice informs the chief that Ken is in the hands of the infamous Madame Hung Shang. Now, sometime later, Ken has regained consciousness in a sumptuously appointed Oriental apartment.
You are feeling better now, Mr. Thurston.
I guess I'll do. What is, Maurice?
You are in my private quarters at the Lotus Blossom.
So you're Madame Hung Shang.
That is right. Are you surprised?
Not particularly. What went on back in my hotel room?
Assassins were attacking you, Mr. Thurston. My men arrived in time to dispose of them. However, they were afraid you might shoot at them by mistake during the confusion, so they rendered you unconscious.
Cautious little creatures, aren't they? What were they doing there anyway?
The captain of the steamer released me at once, of course. They accompanied me to your hotel. I was most anxious to discuss certain business with you.
Concerning murder?
Concerning gold.
Oh.
Particularly a certain shipment from the Philippines due to arrive in the morning. I wish you to secure it for me.
What makes you think I'm tied up with anything like that?
For money, one can secure almost any kind of information in Macau.
Uh-huh.
If you deliver the gold to me, you will be entirely safe here.
If not? I see. How much time have I?
Until dawn tomorrow.
Oh, generous, aren't you?
Your answer, Mr. Thurston.
I'll let you know, Maurice, at dawn.
Have no fear, Mr. Thurston. I'm right at home handling the reins with a donkey in their harness. Why, Jew?
Pagan, how much did Madame Hong Shang give you to spill about me?
Mr. Thurston, how could you possibly accuse me of such a thing?
How much?
I swear by the father of my father,
Pagan?
Mr. Thurston, a measly $100. But I didn't really tell her nothing.
I'll bet.
Well, here we are, Mr. Thurston. Some joint, eh?
Yeah, Dr. D'Amico does all right for himself.
Hey, how come if Macau is such a healthy territory, there's enough sick people for him to support a place like that?
That's what I'm going to find out inside. If you've done your job.
Job? What job?
Selling me out to Dr. D'Amico, too.
I am very pleased, Senor Thurston, at your quick acceptance of my invitation.
I figured a little visit here might be helpful, Dr. D'Amico.
A very wise decision, my friend. We can be quite comfortable here on the patio. Please, be seated.
Thanks.
And now, Senor Thurston, let us get down to business.
That makes sense. What's on your mind?
Philippine gold.
Well, you've got a lot of company.
Perhaps, but not competition.
What makes you think so?
I have a customer with a great deal of money. He spends it foolishly. So foolishly, he is willing to pay $51 an ounce for that gold.
Quite a difference between that and the legal world ceiling of 35. Why does he do it?
You know as well as I, senor, that gold is the only thing of value in the world today.
I can tell you a few others. Peace. The welfare of the peoples of the world.
It is no time for abstract philosophies. Now, it has come to my attention that you have a certain interest in these Philippine gold.
In a way, yeah.
And, naturally, you wish to sell it to us.
Oh, I'm afraid not.
And why not?
Price doesn't appeal to me.
Then what price would appeal to you?
Maybe those abstract philosophies. Well, goodbye, Dr. D'Amico.
You are intending to leave now?
Mm-hmm. Any objections?
I regret to say I have. Sebastian!
Si, senor.
What the...
You see, senor, you will have to make up your mind here. And for your own sake, I would advise you to hurry, Mr. Thurston.
Right there.
Oh! What are you trying to do? What are you doing?
Okay, don't I'll take my hand away from your mouth.
Oh, you almost frightened the life out of me.
Sorry, Francis, I wasn't expecting you.
So I found out.
How do you know I was here?
That strange creature who's been tagging around after you.
Pagan.
He was spying on you and saw them carry you into that pagoda. He figured the information was worth something to me. And he was right.
I could ask why.
Don't. Not now. I've got to get away from here first. Come on, Ken. Oh, the front was no good. D'Amico's having a party. This is one of his guests, and I managed to sneak out here. Oh, let's see.
What borders this place or the back?
Gardens of Command. An army could hide in that wilderness.
Well, then we can.
Yes. Come on.
Hola! Who is there in the garden?
Ken.
I heard him.
Answer, Eric, shoot!
You know, I think he means that.
And here, use this.
Well, thanks. Looks like I'll have to. Now, let's get out of here before D'Amico really gets mad. Okay, Francis. We're going back into the house. You can talk now.
Talk, Ken?
Yeah. You were going to explain your rescue act, remember?
Simple.
When Pagan told me what had happened to you, I realized that you were right. Amico was dangerous, possibly a killer. And you were really my friend.
You change friends fast, don't you?
No woman is perfect. Even I can be fooled.
You'll do all right.
Do I, Ken?
Any reason to think otherwise?
I don't know. Ken, it's funny. Usually when I've had tremendous situations like this. No, she's on the other foot.
You don't like it?
No. It might be worthwhile. With a little encouragement.
I expected a woman like you to take, not ask.
Sometimes a woman like me. Not even bathe.
Not you, Francis. The pattern's too deep.
What is it, Ken?
Those bells. You know what they are?
Yes. Temple bells in the Chinese quarter. They peal that way when the fishing fleet is due in the next morning.
Mm-hmm. It reminds me that I've still got some fishing to do tonight.
Have you, Ken? What do you hope to catch?
Not sure yet. I'll get something.
If you're that certain, you must have a surefire bait.
I have. $51 an ounce.
Mr. Thurston, this is ridiculous. How does anybody fish from a flying boat? And at 5 a.m. in the morning?
Relax, Pagan. Just keep your eyes peeled for a fishing boat.
Fishing boat? But we already passed a whole flock of fishing boats.
Yeah, they're due to dock at Macau at dawn. Wait a minute.
Huh?
What do you see below there?
Just another boat. Falling behind the fleet a little.
Or trying to catch up. Hang on to your hat, Pagan. We're going down to find out which. Ahoy there, fishing boat.
Señor, señor. Nothing wrong.
Pull over and throw us a line. I'll explain on board.
Sí, señor. Un momento.
Did you have to land on the windy side of the fish boat? Mr. Thurston, already it doesn't smell so good in here.
It'll be worse when we get aboard, Pagan.
But why do we have to visit such a dirty thing anyway? Mr. Thurston, that boat, it's getting pretty close. Isn't it time it slowed down?
Not if they intend to ram us.
Ram us? Mr. Thurston!
Overboard, Pagan. Jump. Well.
Hello, Ken. Welcome aboard.
Francis Burton.
Good. You weren't really expecting to see anyone else, were you?
No.
Well, I must admit your man Zellschmidt was surprised.
Surprised? You run us down. You pick us up. I don't get it.
It's simple, Pagan. Miss Burton is the fish we were after.
Huh?
She had a pretty smart scheme for getting gold from the Philippines to Macau, using a fishing boat and timing the trip so it could put in with the fleet, getting the gold ashore undetected.
It's a good scheme, Ken. How did you puzzle it out?
I wasn't too tough. After I let Pagan pave the way by giving him information to sell, as a result, Maurice and D'Amico thought I was the agent for the Philippine gold and tipped me off that it was expected this morning. And you helped by knowing that the fishing fleet was due to dock at dawn.
But that doesn't make sense, Mr. X. She was the one who rescued you from Dr. D'Amico.
Sure. By that time, she disclosed who she was and was afraid D'Amico might tip me off. So she had to get me away from him. But you aren't getting away, Francis.
You forget yourself, darling. You may have escaped from my men in your hotel room, but there's no escape for you from here.
You better check with Sino Leone about that, Francis.
Sino Leone?
Yeah. Of the Philippine Ministry of Finance. It's now about 5:29. He was supposed to make contact with us at 5:30. Say within the next minute or two, we should know whether...
Somebody's shooting at us.
That was only a warning shot across the bows. Fired by a Philippine gunboat with Sino Leone aboard. Looks like you won't dock at Macau after all, Francis.
So, Ken. Very well. But you'll never dock anywhere again.
Let me have that gun.
I'll kill you. You hear? I'll kill you.
Now, let's have it.
We did it. We did it. We got the gun.
Yeah. You can come off from behind that table now, Pagan. Too bad I had to be rough, Francis.
Oh,
But your kind can't be handled any other way. To you, gold's an end in itself. Something to fatten a few purses instead of nourishing the bodies of starving people. D'Amico said peace and the welfare of mankind are only abstract principles. If you think so, just ask the people. They'll tell you. And how they'll tell you.
Now, Frigidaire star Herbert Marsh.
Thanks for being with us. Next week, Mr. X goes to the timber country of the great Northwest, where the least of the dangers he encounters is a two-headed axe swung by Leon Velasco in the person of Pagon Zellschmidt. I think you'll find it a real thriller. So join us, won't you, when next I return as the man called X. Good night.
Frigidaire's Man Called X is directed by Jack Johnstone, with music composed and conducted by Johnny Green. Tonight's story was written by Sidney Marshall. So until next week, same time, same station, this is Wendell Niles speaking for Frigidaire, made only by General Motors. All characters and incidents used are fictitious, and any resemblance to actual persons or incidents is purely coincidental. Remember, every Thursday, for the best in entertainment, tune in and stay tuned in to CBS, the biggest show in town. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.